When your soul and your spirit come together and make a contract, you step into your power. Your soul and your spirit combine, and together that creates a new, powerful energy. Some people call this being on your dime or living your life's purpose. So if you've ever wondered whether you're in your full spiritual power, then this episode is for you.
Well, hi there and welcome. My name is Remy, like Do-Re-Mi. I'm a best-selling author and creator of the Get Unstuck Revolution. I help extraordinary women with big-ass dreams just like you who want to get unstuck from a life that doesn't work and get to where you know you need to be, into a life that's filled with passions and purpose. Now let's get started with today's episode.
Okay, let me jump off the screen here and change over to my laptop. Today, we're talking about whether you're standing fully in your power. Because if you've ever felt like you're floundering a little bit, like you're wearing blacked out glasses and can't really see your path, if you aren't getting the success you want in full abundance, then it's possible that your soul and spirit haven't come together just yet. As business owners, change makers, thought leaders, innovators, disruptors, or even if we haven't found the right fit in the entrepreneurial world yet, whether we're talking about our relationships at home or at work, or if we're talking about our finances, whatever success we're looking for, we can sometimes get frustrated, or we can sometimes feel kind of lost and confused. How can we find clarity so that we can step into our hidden power? Well, it's time to be unabashedly, unapologetically, happily untethered to ego thinking. It's time to allow the soul connection instead. This episode is for you if you know that fear is testing your spirit for life. This episode is for you if you know that your soul has a specific purpose for being here. This episode is for you if you wonder whether you're in your full spiritual power or are you missing something. Yes, we're talking about how to find your hidden power when you want to transform challenges into successes. I like to call it the audacity of alchemy. Because when you're feeling stuck, it's never the situation that has you stuck. It's your energy that's become stuck in doubts, worries, frustrations, indecision. In other words, it isn't the pain of the situation. It's the pain of not being connected in the natural energy of who you really are, of being connected to that magical part of you that's a creative vibrational being who can use positive energies to create what you want and bring it into physical manifestation. Part of this process is to allow your manifestations to materialize and not get stuck in the negative vibrations that block them. These positive energies that we talk about so much here are where you find the magic of alchemy. And using your hidden power means using these positive energies to effect transformation. Because if you're like me, then you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks and transform challenges into success. So let's talk about this idea of transformation and the audacity of alchemy. When your soul and spirit come together and make a contract, you step into your power. Your soul and your spirit integrate, and together it creates a powerful new energy. Some people call this living your life's purpose, or living authentically, or knowing your true north. We can call it many things, but sometimes it's just a matter of playing to your spiritual strengths. So if you've ever wondered whether you're in your full spiritual power, I'd like to present to you what I call the soul spirit exercise. It's one of my favorites and almost always leaves the people at my workshops with an aha moment. When you know what your purpose in life is, when you're completely honest about this, everything begins to snap into place. You know, there's a saying, when our soul meets our spirit and we form a contract, that is power. And the first time I heard this, I thought, what does that mean when our soul meets our spirit? I always considered that they were one and the same. So let me explain what I mean by this. When someone says that person is in their power, what they're really saying is that their soul and spirit have created a sacred contract. But have you been living so much in your soul connection with source energy that your spirit is saying, hello, what about me down here on earth? Or have you been living so much in your own spirit, the energy of optimism or excitement or possibilities, that your soul feels empty and not quite connected? Well, let's define the difference between soul and spirit, because if you're like me, you may consider them the same thing. So let's start with this. Write down your definition of soul and your definition of spirit. Your definition of soul might be something like this: thoughts separate from the physical body. Or maybe it's the part of me that's immortal. Or maybe you think of the soul as the essence of human life. And then as we look at spirit, your definition might be the supernatural, or an anonymous source that impacts our lives, or something that's in the non-physical. So whatever your perspective might be, just jot down your definitions of soul and of spirit. And we'll come back to this in just a minute. So let's start with the soul. Now, my definition of soul is beingness without fear. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're in constant states of beingness, doingness, and havingness. And most people get it a little bit backwards, and they think that when I have this thing, then I can do what I'm supposed to do, and then I'll be this kind of person. In reality, it goes the other way around. Beingness comes first. Who are you? Who are you being, and who are you meant to be? And then from that place, you start doing, and then you have. As an example, let's say that someone wants to be a speaker. They think that when they've written a book or received some credential, then they'll have what they need to start speaking. And once they have this credibility, then they can start doing. They can start booking themselves as a speaker. And once they've given a few speeches, then they can be a speaker and fit into that title with clear conscience. That's how most people think. But flip that around. If you consider that you're already a speaker because you do talk to other people and maybe groups of people, and you enjoy getting a message across even in a casual conversation, if you consider that you already are a speaker, nothing stops you from doing speaking. You just go out and do it, and then you have the credibility. See the difference? There's no fear of going out and speaking regardless of credentials because you're just excited about your message. So that's my definition of a soul, beingness without fear. Now, another definition of a soul is your immortal side, distinct from the physical body, something that is beyond form. And this is the part of you that some may consider one with the universe, or that part of you that lives into eternity, the part of you that was there before you were born and will continue after you leave your physical body. In a more practical, down-to-earth sense, another definition of a soul is your moral sense of identity, the truth of who you are, or the essence of what makes you good and decent. It's who you are at your core. It's you being the leader of your own life, or who you are becoming as your soul learns its life lessons. So those are some definitions of the soul. Now let's switch gears for a minute and talk about purpose and how that relates. Does your soul have a purpose, or is the idea of purpose just something of this physical world, a concept that man created? Well, yes, it is your soul that has a purpose, and we have the ability to see that life is more than just living one day after another after another. It's the part of you that knows you're here for a reason. But if you live with fears, doubts, worries, anxieties, criticisms, or ill intentions, then you aren't being the essence of who you are meant to be. How can you live with purpose if you're living with these negative traits? So being able to shed these fears and living from the essence of what makes you good and decent, well, that's why my definition of soul is beingness without fear. And this is how you express your hidden power. But what happens if you have trouble releasing these fears, doubts, worries, anxieties, criticisms, and it's difficult to be the essence of who you were meant to be? Well, if you're ready to dissolve life's obstacles that are sometimes like landmines on your path to success, then you might be ready for this amazing new tool to get you moving into some better patterns where success can find its way to you. It's called the Alchemy Matrix, and it's going to help you shape your destiny. It's an interactive roadmap designed to help you solve problems, dissolve barriers, and bring in a lot of clarity so you can create a future that you'd like to see. This is just a brief reminder that you can sign up to learn more about the Alchemy Matrix at successcircleworkshops.com. I promise to tell you more about that in just a minute. So we've looked at my favorite definition of soul, which is beingness without fear. And now let's see how spirit is different from soul, and this idea that when your soul meets your spirit, makes a contract, you step into your power. Think of spirit as energy. Spirit is a vital, animating force. It animates energy. Spirit means being full of vigor and courage, full of life energy. When you're spirited, you're showing great excitement and enthusiasm for life. You're willing to face fear without flinching because you realize that fear is an illusion anyway. Fear is just there to test your spirit for life. Having spirit means having a courageous heart that has triumphed over the ego, so that there's no longer anger or hatred or negativity in your heart. Spirit is having a spark of aliveness, having a reverence for life and everything around us. An example of spirit would be when somebody says, I was in an abusive relationship, but he couldn't take my spirit. The soul allowed the abuse because there was a life lesson or a sacred contract between the two souls, but the spirit was saying, like hell, you're going to take my spirit away. See the difference? So your soul is beingness without fear, and your spirit is your energy, that vital, animating force that's so full of life. Now, this is just my perspective, so remember that you may have a different perspective, and whatever's true for you is true. So anyway, following this concept, when your soul and your spirit come together and make a contract, you step into your power. You combine them together to create a new, powerful energy, and that energy is what drives us. So exactly how does this work? Because everybody always asks me for the how. So here's an exercise, and we'll call it the Soul Spirit Exercise. And it has 4 steps. So number 1, write down 2 of your own unique spirited or energy characteristics. We're looking for 2 characteristics that might describe your natural emotion or energy. These might be things like courage and enthusiasm for life. Maybe it's a natural compassion or resilience. Maybe it's persistence and an extraordinary tenacity to never give up. So what are your 2 most unique and very natural energies? And go ahead and write those down. And then next, write down 2 ways you enjoy expressing your spirit when you interact with other people. What do you enjoy doing with or for others? This might be things like teaching or helping others to understand. Maybe it's helping people find their inner voice or to see things they can't see. Maybe you're a leader and you enjoy facilitating groups. So how do you enjoy expressing your spirit around others? And take a minute, write down those 2 ways. And now that we've looked at your spiritual strengths, let's switch over. We'll make a little switch here and look at how others are experiencing this world. What experience would you like others to have while they're here on this earth? Do you want them to be happy, thoughtful, gracious, reaching for the stars? Who are they being as they experience this world? How do you want others to experience this world? Just fill in the blank. In a perfect world, everyone is, and fill that in. For example, in a perfect world, everyone is healthy. That'd be an example. All right, and then we move on to step number 4, and this is where you combine number 1, number 2, and number 3 into a cohesive statement. So I'll give you an example for me, for instance. 2 of my greatest strengths are my natural exuberance and contagious energy. That was step number 1. When I interact with other people, I love to inspire them. That was step number 2. And as you know, I help people overcome invalidation and spiritual injury so they can get back to their natural optimism about life, because positive energy creates the alchemy to transform challenges. And that was step number 3. So this is how my statement looks as an example. I use my natural exuberance and contagious energy to inspire others, to use alchemy to transform their challenges into successes. So knowing that your soul has a purpose here, and knowing your own spirited strengths, you're able to make a contract between your soul and your spirit. And that's what your statement is that you're writing here. It's a contract. And now that my soul and spirit have come together and made this contract, I'm able to step more into my power. I've combined them together to create a powerful energy, what some people would consider being on your dime or really nailing your purpose in life. See how that works? And that energy is what drives everything that I do. So if somebody says, who do you think you are? Even if it's my own ego saying that, well, I'm confident in my answer. And this can work for you too. So with this example aside, now it's your turn. and this is your exercise for today. Combine your number 1, your unique energy, your number 2, how you enjoy expressing your spirit, and your number 3, how you'd like others to experience your life. Combine these into a cohesive statement so you can create your soul-spirit contract and step into your authentic power. I think you'll find it really exciting to know that you can create your own soul-spirit contract. So I hope this helps you as you're using the powers of alchemy to transform challenges and obstacles and a lack of clarity into positive new successes. But if you still can't get your head around what's got you stuck, you can tell me about it. You can leave a question here, or if you're someone who has the audacity, the willingness to take bold risks to transform challenges into success, you can find out more about our events at successcircleworkshops.com. This is where you can learn more about the audacity of alchemy and how to unlock your hidden power. You'll get a personalized interactive roadmap that's custom designed to get you unstuck by unlocking your hidden power to create big magical changes, alchemy. You'll learn to solve problems, dissolve barriers, and bring success to you. So don't wait. Go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized Alchemy Matrix package right now. You'll get a full-color workbook filled with hands-on exercises to inspire your creative energies. You'll get membership in your very own Success Circle for high-level masterminding and networking, and your very own customized Alchemy Matrix to unlock your hidden power and bring success to you, and your very own personal Unstuckologist. Remember, the Alchemy Matrix is the only tool of its kind, and it's only available here. So if you're ready to approach your life's challenges with audacity, if you're ready to finally banish frustration, indecision, and the negative spiral, if you're ready to watch success materialize right before your eyes, then don't settle for another minute of ordinary. Go to successcircleworkshops.com and get your personalized Alchemy Matrix package right now and watch the magic start to happen. Thanks for joining me today, and I'm wishing you a life filled with all the alchemy you need to bring success to you. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know who's feeling stuck, and I look forward to seeing you at one of our upcoming Success Circles. You can find out more at successcircleworkshops.com.